Welcome back, everybody, to the weekend show where I'll be doing technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please hit that like button, and 150 likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. Now, if you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you want to go above and beyond, support the channel, and get all types of trade ideas and live trading, definitely check out my link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it. So the market did on Friday, that was up, hitting a brand new all-time high, up 0.5%. Nasdaq also hitting a brand new all-time high, but then gave back some of the gains, down 0.28%. S&P also was up and pretty much flat finish at the end. Russell going up 0.74%. 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500. You can see risk off move here on the top, leading the way healthcare, utilities, financial, and energy. Stock market map, what do we have here? Well, none of those big names, had a good day on Friday. You got Meta down over 2%, Google flat, Tesla down 1.42%, Amazon down over 1%, Apple flat, Microsoft flat, even Broadcom going flat, and Nvidia going down 0.67%. And some of these names like AMD, Intel, they were also down on the day, but you can see big green here, on healthcare, Eli Lilly, J&J, UNH, all are going up at the same time, including some energy stocks like XOM right here. And now let's get right into Nvidia stock. Talking about a stock that is extremely bullish, and so far, I mean, this thing is still on a monster run to the upside. I mean, it's been years that this thing was down, and since then, I mean, it's just going on a monster run. This was the last major pullback that we had, and if you bought into it, I mean, it was at what 90, $85, and now it's at $190. So you got yourself a massive, reward. I mean, this thing went up 100%. More than that, huge profit on this thing if you got in at the right time, or you've been somewhere here when this thing broke out. $5, $10. Maybe later on. That's totally fine. I mean, look at the performance right here from Nvidia stock, and still breaking out to a brand new all-time high. Now the question here, is it gonna get to 200, or are you gonna see possibly move back down to the previous all-time high? And there are a lot of rejection at 184 right here. And if this thing comes back, I think you'll find support unless there is something that is going on, especially insider selling or something big going on that we don't know. This thing breaks below 184, that would consider that this was a fake breakout to the upside, and now things are pulling back really hard, really fast. If this thing goes under 184 rapidly, things can change, and we'll talk about that once we get there. But so far, guys, I'm expecting Nvidia, even if it comes back 184, to hold, and if that holds, it's going back up to 190 to even 200. We got up to my first target, which was 190, and it can possibly break out over 190. If that happens in next couple sessions, it can definitely start moving towards that 200 mark, which is going to be insane. And the market cap, $4.5 trillion, the first company to do that, and who knows, maybe even go to $5 trillion market cap at some point. I think that's the goal, and it's going to get there at some point. And once again, one of the most valuable company on earth right now, and Nvidia stock alone is the market right now. So on Tesla stock, it was down 1.42%, but look at the game here on Tesla. I mean, again, it went up on Friday, but it did not hold. And I was talking about this bearish engulfing candle that don't get burned, because Tesla goes up, it can rapidly come down. And boy, oh boy, was I actually right on this thing. I mean, look at this, the breakout here did not hold. And now the breakdown definitely, making it go all the way down to the 20-day moving average. It's at 415-ish. It came down to 416, found support, and barely holding, not even holding, it's under 432. So going into Monday session, usually Tesla likes to run Monday, so we'll see how that plays out. But don't forget, end of this month, we do have earnings from Tesla. So if this thing breaks over 432, it can go up to 443. That's where we went on Friday and came back. We went slightly higher, 446, 447. If this thing holds over that 5-day moving average 443, it can definitely move up to 465 once again. But if it falls below and stays below 432, critical level to watch right here, that's going to be 420, 414, and then this gap at 396.69 on Tesla. On AMD, it's down nearly 3%. So AMD, there was a gap down here. We did fill the gap and found support right here at 165-ish. Looks like it's heading down to that 162 range. That would be a level to watch, a level of interest. We also have support at 160 because of this white line, which is rising 20-day moving average. And I think as long as we have this gap on top, and if this thing holds anywhere from 162 to 160, that would be a buying opportunity to play this back up to this gap 174. So going into Monday session, we do have support right here at 164, 162, and then 160. If this thing does not hold any of that, it's coming all the way down to 152. If it holds any of those support levels, definitely watch out for the resistance to break 166 over that 170, and then this gap comes into play 174.36, and I think that would be a fantastic play if it holds right here, and you can buy the dip with a stop loss and play it back up to the upside. And here's my X account, and if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow. And here's a fantastic trade from Friday, even though a lot of the things were not actually moving. Right here on Google, you can see it was down early in the morning at 9:41 a.m. We took 245 calls, and fast forward just after a couple of hours at 1:35 p.m. And even later on, it was at 146 going deep in the money, over the money. We took profit on that play. So if you guys are really serious about trading and you want to do this full time, you want to learn, definitely check out my link down in the description for Patreon. And trust me when I say this is worth every penny, especially people that are serious about trading and they want to do this full time. So Meta, it's down 2.27%, and you guys saw that Meta play, not in this video, but the previous video. I did show you guys that we took Meta calls, and boy, oh boy, I had the runner that I sold just at opening on Friday, pretty much at 7:30 almost. You can see it opened at almost 7:30, and that's where I sold. So that is a massive move. We caught nearly, 16, 17 bucks to the upside, and exactly at that trend line, we got rid of it, and then it came back all the way down to 710. And I think what it's trying to do, I mean, this could be a double top here, and if this is going to play out, it'll possibly come down, close the gap, and it will continue to go down. Just keep that in mind. We also have earnings coming up here on Meta end of this month. Now, if this thing breaks over that 730, it can go to 738, 752, and then 767. To the downside, key support 708 right here. This gap fill reversal, if it does not hold, it can rapidly come down to flat 700 to 682. On Google, stock is absolutely flat, and this is a bull flag consolidation here on Google stock. And boy, oh boy, you guys saw that play. About 40% on that play we got on Friday, holding on, and I got in just below when it got below 243. And it was just bouncing back and forth. That's where I got in with 245 calls, and boy, oh boy, this thing going deep in the money, over the money. I mean, look at this. Even 247 came after I sold. So this was a really nice. We bought into the strength, and we know that things would go right back up here. And where to take profit? Well, you can see the 20-day hitting at 246, 20-day moving average, and it backed off a little bit here. So I took profit and got out of it. Now, if this thing breaks out over that 246, it can easily go up to 253, and I think that's the plan here with Google, that it can possibly run. If this thing breaks out of this bull flag pattern, it can definitely run back up to 253 to even 256, and maybe even goes on and makes a brand new all-time high. Now, if this thing falls below from here and gets under 245, rapidly watch the support at 238, then the next support lower band right here at 235. And if this thing gives up all that and there is a big pullback, watch out for this gap to come into play right here at 212, but that's going to take some selling to get there. On Amazon, stock is down 1.30%. So Amazon came back, and it's not even holding the 5-day moving average, which is sitting close to 221. It's below that. So if this thing continues going into Monday, it can rapidly come down to 214, 215. That's where the lower band is sitting, and then this gap comes into play, 210.39. To the upside, it found rejection exactly where I said before in my video right here, guys. 224 got rejected. If it gets over that, it can possibly make a move up to 226.60 right here to these moving averages, and then it can get possibly a bigger rejection here unless there is a catalyst to push this thing even higher. So a lot of chop on Microsoft up on the day 0.31%, and it's a bear flag pattern that is forming right here. We just have to see if that's going to play out. Now it's over that 517 range, so stay bullish. As long as it's over 517, it can go up to this high right here, 522, 523, and over that, it can make it run all the way up to 532. Now, if this thing falls below 517, there will be support at 512.97. Then we have support at 510, and underneath all these moving averages, it can easily come down and close the gap at 503.17. Now here's the interesting one. Apple up 0.35%, almost got up to 260, and then you can see it was just sitting right on top of this flag pattern, holding 258. So if this thing continues, guys, I mean, you can see Bollinger Band expanded up to 267, and I think that's where this thing is going. If this thing gets over that 260 range easily, 267 achievable here on Apple stock, and it can go much higher. Also, we do have earnings coming out end of this month, so that is something to take a note of right here before just going blindly long here at the top. So don't do that if you're not in here in the stock from the beginning and you're just trying to chase the play now. It's just too late, guys. Now, if this thing falls below 258, there will be support at 255, and then watch out for 250, 246 gap. To the upside, 260 breaks, is heading back up to 267, and that's going to be a brand new all-time high on Apple stock. But Netflix down again on Friday, 0.79%, came down to 1143, finished at 1153. Not much really happening under 1163, which is that support that held so many times now. That is a resistance here to break. So here on Netflix, 1163 breaks, we may get to see some sort of a run up to 1178 to 1200. But if this thing remains under 1163, most likely it'll come down and retest these lows down here, 1100 and then 1065 on Netflix. We also have earnings coming up in just a matter of 2 3 weeks on Netflix.